morning to everyone. It's a wonderful day. Let's start your day with newly fresh topics. Everyone, welcome to Jedalog, your one and only Jeddah the Explorer. Today, as we will talk about something new, we have our very special guest that will join us for travel talks. I welcome to all of you, our travelers from Japan. Let's give them a round of applause. We have here Miss Inocencio, Miss Chavez, Miss Rojas, and Mr. Ramirez. Oh wow! Good day to our lovely travelers. Miss Rojas, you look amazing today. You just caught my attention. I guess you really enjoyed your trip, huh? How was it for all of you?
Konnichiwa, Mr. Jedo. You were right. There's so much more to do than what I expected. I really enjoyed my trip there. Not just me, but all of us.
For me, Mr. Jedo, it was fun and refreshing. Only if I cannot sleep for 3 days, I will do it just to travel more in Japan. Because it was fun to experience new things in Japan. That country is amazing.
Ohayou gozaimasu. It was stress-free. The place, the people, the food, and everything. It was enjoyable.
I couldn't agree with them more, Mr. Jedo. I suggest you should try it too.
Wow, the way you guys talked about the trip was good. I think I need to go there too. Just like what Mr. Ramirez said, because all of your responses, I got even more curious about the country Japan. So here's my question for our travelers. What destination caught your attention the most? Let's start with you, Miss Innocencio.
To answer that question, Mr. Jedo, I was amazed in the cultural capital of Japan, which is the Kyoto City. The scenery is indeed beautiful and peaceful. I am also interested to know about the country's tradition. And they say Kyoto City is for those travelers who want to get a glimpse of old Japan. There are multitude of temples, Shinto shrines to explore, as well as the most beautiful preserved street and the chance to spot a Maiko and geisha. They are highly skilled females entertainers who traditionally entertain guests at tea houses and traditional restaurants in Kyoto. You can also see people there wearing kimono. It is a cultural tradition in Japan that still exists and is worn on special occasions.
For me, Mr. Jedo, the Mount Fuji caught my attention because I watched their anime named Budo Camp and I was amazed that they having a camping site where you can clearly see the beautiful view of Mount Fuji in Japan. There's also a tradition for most Japanese people to try to climb Mount Fuji at least once in their life to pray when the sun is just rising from the horizon. It doesn't seem like a religious act, but it's a tradition from old times.
The destination that caught my attention in Japan is Osaka. It always been a dream of mine to come there, not only because of its beauty, but also because of how they treat their tourists. The people there are considered as the kindest people in Japan. Osaka has a very bright and unique culture compared to other places in Japan. Furthermore, I also enjoy shopping, so it would be a perfect place to
There is a well-known skyscraper in Tokyo, Japan that shows you the beauty of what's around it. That is the Tokyo Sky Tree, a 634-meter tall tower. It is also considered the country's tallest structure and the world's tallest freestanding tower. Just imagine having to enjoy the view that it gives. More than the joy of being in Tokyo, I can also consider the satisfaction of what this city gives.
In your words about the place in Japan must be good and beautiful country to visit. So what are your thoughts on Japanese culture and tradition as you visited the country?
Well, my thoughts about Japanese culture is that they are very respectful. And ever since I salute them for their form of respect, not just to the elders, but to every citizen of the Japan and even to tourists. I love how they value each other and how they manage to make their country trash free. They have the greatest discipline in the world. like their tradition of bowing. This is a very important tradition of them, for it applies to a wide variety of situations. They vary from slight bows when greeting a friend to a rare deep kowtow for a profound apology. This is considered as a way of showing their respect.
The culture I know they have is people greet each other by bowing. A deeper, longer bow indicates respect, and conversely, a small nod with the head is casual and informal. What I can say about the culture they have is that respect for them is very important, to the point that even one of their family members has a problem, they will not talk to them or just find out because privacy and respect of their culture are important. For me, there's a positive and negative impact of this kind of culture because positive because they're just minding their own business, and negative because no one can hear them and they have no shoulder to lean on in the problems that they are facing.
It's amazing because they preserve their city as beautiful as they constructed, such as castles and temples. Even though Japanese culture and practices are quite different from those other nations, and many people in Japan do not speak English, travelers find Japanese people to be incredibly kind and sincere.
Well, in Japan, you will be exposed to a variety range of Japanese tradition and culture. My thoughts on their culture and tradition are that Japanese people always display modesty and humility. Bowing is a common part of Japanese culture that you will witness. Japanese people do value respect in their culture and traditions.
That's interesting. I admire them for the respect they have and how they really live with it. And I've just heard, but I'm not sure if it's true, the young students from 1 to grade 4 only had one subject to be taught have good manners and right conduct. And why do you think it's important in Japan to have such culture and tradition?
It is that important to them because that is what they value the most. They would like to preserve their culture and tradition by putting value in it and taking care of it. Their tradition and culture also signify them. Mainly, that is the reason why it is very important to them.
You know, for me, I think it is important to be able to protect their privacy and for the peace of their country. The culture they have also helps them to have good relationship with each other and as well as with other people around the world who's visiting their country.
I agree, and same goes with the response of Mr. Ramirez. They really value their cultures and traditions. That is why it is important. And Japanese people are known for their resilience, hard work, honesty, and intelligence. Also, being disciplined because of the cultures and traditions they have.
Tradition and celebration are important to Japan culture, and as a tourist, witnessing such event is honor for me. Taking the time to better understanding the highly traditional ways of Japan is extremely important. And whether visiting a widely celebrated festival or being invited into an intimate affair, it will help you gain insight into the uniqueness of Japan.
I think people there in Japan are well respected and well disciplined. Amazing. Also, as you guys said earlier, that it was fun and enjoyable. What festivities or what's your favorite festival in Japan and why?
Tenjin Matsuri is my favorite festival because it is honoring the shrine's deity Sugawara no Michizane, the god of scholarship and learning. The Japanese people did not forget what Sugawara Michizane had been done, and because of his proposal that Japan abandons its official mission to China because of the unstable political conditions there.
My favorite festival was the Buddhist festival because this ceremony cleanses people from their sins and brings spring to the new year. And once the festival is over, the cherry blossom season blooms.
My favorite festival is Yuno Sakura Matsuri or Sakura Festival. This has been my favorite festival since it is the trademark of Japan. What is Japan without their beautiful sakura blossoms? The beauty of that tree also signifies the time of renewal and the fleeting nature of life.
My favorite festival in Japan is the Gion Matsuru. It's another of Japan's most famous Matsuri festivals. The festival is also a time for locals and visitors to and don their best or to show their most and best kimono and show it off through the town. Surrounded by ancient retro streets of Kyoto, Geisha District, and jovial yet deeply spiritual atmosphere offers an intimate encounter with the soul of Japanese culture.
The festivals in Japan seems to be fun, especially to watch the parades, just like what we have here in the Philippines. For my last question, if you are given a chance to travel again in Japan, what will be your go-to city and why?
If I were given a chance to travel Japan again, I would lovely to go to Tokyo City. There is a famous city that is a famous city in Japan, and I heard a lot of things about Tokyo that it's a beautiful place, and I love to try their famous traditional dishes like sushi and ramen because they say a trip to Tokyo would not complete without trying this gastronomical delight in its homeland.
If I were given an opportunity to visit Japan again, I would go to Kyoto, merely to watch and enjoy the cherry blossom season.
I would always choose Tokyo. First, it is the capital of Tokyo and the largest city in Japan. Second, you can also discover a lot of what they have to offer there, from neon lit skyscrapers to beautiful temples. It's all in one city.
For me, I want to go to Kyoto because it is the cultural and historical heart of the country. For me, this is the best place I should go because everything I need is in one city. It has a beautiful view of Buddhist temples, Shinto shrines, palaces, and gardens.
If I have the time for vacation, I will surely visit Japan. No wonder why Japan is a unique country. And the people are well mannered because of their culture, which is very inspiring. That would be all for our travel talks. I'm grateful to our travelers for accepting my invitation to this show. Thank you for sharing us with your experiences in Japan and giving us useful and grateful insights.
We were also happy to be here in your show. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Ms. Rojas, again, and I want to thank you, our travelers, for sharing their precious time with us, for our lovely audience and watchers there. Thank you. This is the end of our talk. Again, I am Jedo, your Jedo the Explorer, your Jedolog.